All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Michelle Ferris, and this is Dr. Michelle Deering. Yay, I'm so glad
Yay!
you're here, Michelle.
I'm so excited to be here.
I know. Well, you are very, very impressive. I'm going to read a little bio for you. So, you are a licensed psychologist and you're a board certified sports psychologist, which to me is like super exciting because I'm into sports. Um,
Yes.
and you worked at a Big Ten university.
hmm Yep.
And you're also a Fortune 500 corporate trainer. And you are a best-selling author for a book, What Mothers Never Tell Their Daughters, 5 Secrets to Building Trust, Restoring Connection, and Strengthening Relationships. I love this. I'm so excited to chat with you.
I'm really excited to be here with you and your group here. This is really fun.
Yeah, and this is a topic I don't cover, so I really appreciate you being able to come and share. So tell us a little bit about what you do and who you are.
Well, I am a mother-daughter relationship personal trainer who actually helps busy moms improve their communications with their daughters. And I do that by equipping, educating, and empowering them with tools and strategies through what I call my Life Mirror Remedy program, where I actually, and we'll go into that in a little bit later, but that's what I do because I know moms have this deep desire to really just have a close relationship with their daughters. And that's my
Oh,
heart, is
yeah.
for them to have that.
I love that, and that's so needed right now. I mean, the whole parenting and
hmm
just being able to launch our kids successfully takes so much effort, and I'm just so glad that you have uh, been able to help so many people.
Yeah, actually, I'm also married 29 years to
Mm.
my BFF hubby. We
Oh.
celebrated 29 this year, and we are twin daughters. I'm a mother of multiples. So I'm feeling you if you have multiples out there. So I really am a MOM, mom, mother of multiples.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have twin daughters. Yes.
So, what do you think the biggest challenges are that moms face with their daughters?
Um, well, any kind of, whether you're mothering a daughter or a son, you
Hmm.
bring yourself into the mothering. And in particular, when it comes to daughters, I think sometimes we as moms can lose our way in terms of forgetting what our why is. And our why meaning, and I love acronyms. So the why,
Uh-huh.
the W is who we are. We lose a sense of who we are in the
Mm.
process of mothering our daughters. We lose a sense of how we do things, like really being settled in, well, how do I roll? And then in
Mm.
terms of the key part here is the why, which is the yearnings that we have that have not been fulfilled, that somehow then either can get placed on or murky the waters in our
Mhm.
relationship with our daughters. So it's really
Mhm.
them losing a sense of their why. And then also another big problem is, not having appropriate boundaries. I'm big on boundaries.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
you are too. So,
Mhm.
so yeah, those are the two big things. And I think both of those have been challenged, especially in this, even though we're in the midst of COVID, post COVID, the
Right.
initial thing where
Right.
everyone is with each other. And,
Yes.
and, and I think stressors don't don't create new things. They actually sometimes can highlight stuff that has
Yeah.
been going on even
Right.
more so and magnify it. Mhm.
Right. Well, and boundaries can be so tricky because if you, as a woman, aren't comfortable setting boundaries, then as a parent, you're going to be really tested because, these are our kids and our babies. So, how do you help moms with boundaries?
Well, one of the things I alluded to earlier is, I've been practicing as a licensed psychologist for over 20 years. And what I wanted to do in writing my book and the work that I do as a mother-daughter relationship personal trainer is to actually kind of demystify some of that process and bring it to more people.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
through the Life Mirror Remedy, I walk moms through a process of a series of questions that cover them examining what's going on
Mhm.
currently in their relationship with their daughter, then
Mhm.
identifying what patterns are going on, and then
Mhm.
looking at prioritizing, okay, which one is actually going to be the focus of the work together, because I
Mm,
believe that everything's connected. So you focus
yeah.
on one, and then it will have a ripple effect. And then I walk through how to establish new kinds of boundaries with your daughter, and then give you strategies for re-engaging with her in a way that's going to be less
Mm,
stressful for you, more
mhm.
engaging for her, and better overall. So that's the
Yeah.
problem. Yeah.
Oh, that's see, and I have a son, so my experience is a bit different. But
Hmm.
what I noticed with my niece was, that tween period where she was really snotty. And I thought, oh my gosh, how do you handle that? Because that was so challenging for me. And I remember the one thing I told her is I said, I don't talk to you that way. And she heard that.
Yes,
She heard
yes.
that.
And that's actually establishing, because you yourself know what your line is. Everybody
Yeah.
has a line.
Yeah.
And for you, the disrespect is one
Yeah.
thing. For me, it would be another thing, but it's important to at least know what your thing is,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
going to get plucked. And during the tween years and teen years, my heart, I was also, I didn't include this in my bio, but I was also a middle school teacher too. And so
Really?
I love that age group where they are, especially for young ladies, they are experiencing a lot of change. Okay. It's their
Yeah.
first time being really inundated with a lot of peer pressure in a different kind of way. The second
Mhm.
thing is that their hormones obviously are changing. And the third
Right.
thing is that they're trying to figure out, they're on the cusp of figuring out who they are. So cognitively, they're going from concrete thinking
Mhm.
to analytical thinking. They're taking so many things in.
Mhm.
Oh my God, now my mother is, do I really want to listen to her? Why is she doing that? Da,
Right.
da, da. And so they're questioning a
Right.
bunch of stuff. So they're really juggling a lot. And I think that comes
Mm.
out if they don't have language around their feelings. It comes out in different ways. So as a
Mm,
mom,
that makes sense.
it's going to be important for you
Mhm.
to actually figure out, decode what's
Yeah,
going on. Yeah.
that's true, actually, because I
Yeah.
used to have to do that with my son. I could tell the light was on or off. And it was off, I would not engage
There
because it
you
was
go.
on.
It's like warning, warning. Right?
One of the things I love about your work is your invitation to moms to look at their own process. Because I
Mm.
think when it comes to parenting, we tend to, I would imagine you get this call a lot, help me with my kid, right?
No, they say
Instead of
fix, right.
exactly.
Right. Hmm.
So, how do you, is that a challenge to get moms to look at themselves?
Well, that was one of the impetuses behind writing my book, because I
Mhm,
wanted to reach more moms and give them a very book. The book is not psychological. It's not filled with psychobabble. It's as if you and I went to
mhm.
Starbucks and we're just having coffee and we're yapping about life. And that it's a very conversational book. So what I wanted to do is to give moms like a physical representation of,
Yeah.
let's just pause for a minute and let's just read
Oh,
and
show the
and
book.
think. Oh, there you go. Wait,
Love
there you
that.
go. Yeah, yeah. So
Uh,
and so if you notice, she's looking in the mirror. All right. So it's
uh-huh.
really, and there's other stuff in there, but it's really about just pausing to consider what's going on inside of you, because we
Yeah,
as moms, we are always on the go.
right.
And especially if you're a single mom, I have a soft spot in particular for single moms
Mhm.
because I was raised by a single mom.
Me
So
too.
yeah. Oh, cool. Not only do we have the first name,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the
Yeah,
same
that's
for
right,
me,
and the right spelling.
and the spelling too. Can't
I
get any
know.
better than that. But it's really important to kind of just pause to consider, what's going on inside of you. And we
Mhm.
get pressured a lot of times from outside forces saying, well, this is what the standard is, or this is what your
Right,
mothering should look like,
right.
or look at Betty Sue over there whose kid is doing, on honor roll, and
Yes.
why is mine not on the honor? We need,
Yeah.
we're just inundated.
No, I think that was the biggest surprise becoming a mom is the judgment that if you don't have the kid in the box,
Hmm.
it can feel really isolating, and I can really understand you saying that. That's
Hmm.
just, but I just so what are some simple strategies that people can use if they are really struggling with the relationship they have with their daughter?
Yeah, something that someone said to me and my husband when we were about to get married is they
Uh-huh.
said, "Be a student of your spouse." And for some odd reason, because he was
Ooh.
in grad school at the time and I had just
Uh-huh.
finished school, I was sort of like, that made sense to me. And we've kind of just translated that into our parenting, where as a mom,
Mm,
I would encourage you to kind of just be curious. Here's this life that you brought into the world, and just pause to consider, okay, not just what's going on between the two of you, but the first thing is pause to consider your behavior. You have
mm,
patterns that you probably haven't noticed until someone points them out. But why
right.
wait for someone to point it out? Because you're going to get defensive.
Yeah, that's
uh,
right.
you actually want to actually take some ownership of, okay, wait a second.
Hmm.
This is happening a lot. I'm not insane because I'm not doing the same thing expecting a different outcome. So
Right.
let me just figure out what the pattern is, and then figure out and pause to consider what's going on in your body. And I mention your body
Mm,
because we
uh-huh.
as women really don't pay attention to our bodies as much. We'll get on the treadmill and start working out, or
Right. Right.
we'll grab the first diet thing and what, but really
Hmm.
just pause to consider what's going on in your body. Are you feeling tired? Are you feeling irritable? Those are just
Mm,
thermometer readings about what's
right.
going on inside of you. And if you can just mesh those two together, the patterns and what you're feeling in your body, that's going to give you some information that you can then use to do something different with your daughter. Because I think if you
Hmm.
don't pause, you're just going to keep tripping
Right.
into the same pattern over and
Right.
over again, and your daughter will react.
And I think kids really respond well when we're accountable for what we do, because
Yes.
that sets a really powerful example, and that's what I'm hearing, and what you're saying is,
Hmm.
when we can look at our patterns and even share some of our mistakes with our kids, they realize, oh, we don't have to be perfect, it's okay to make mistakes, and that to
Right.
me is so powerful.
Oh yes, it's a wonderful opportunity. I'm so glad you said that. It's a wonderful opportunity to forge a new kind of connection with your
Yeah.
daughter.
Right.
An apology goes a long way.
Oh yeah, and how many of us grew up with an apology? you know no, I
No,
never had that.
you and me
I
both.
mean, yeah, it's just, and I think that's where it's changing now, because there's so much more awareness of mental health and
Hmm.
emotional connection and what's
Hmm.
healthy, and I just love that. I just
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
So how do you think we can support our daughters and our nieces and our grandkids for becoming healthy, mature adults and
I
young
think
women?
yes. I think the best way you can support your daughters, nieces, granddaughters is to, one, first of all, realize that you as a mom are a leader. First and
Mm,
foremost, you can either take on that mantle or not, but the fact remains that you are a
mhm,
leader. And as
mhm.
a leader, you have to lead by example. So, as I said, turn the mirror on yourself, start looking at
Right.
your patterns and your body and what's going on. And then the second thing is, um, commit to work on yourself. I was reading this Jewish proverb recently where it says wisdom builds a house, but understanding furnishes it. So anyone who
Mm,
has a house, you
uh-huh.
don't like living in an empty house. So really just purposing in your heart, even just one tiny bit, let me just gain an understanding about what's going on inside of me.
Yeah.
Because with
Yeah.
that understanding, you can make informed decisions about how then best to encourage and empower and
Mhm.
release your daughter, okay, as she gets older and it's age appropriate. And then the last thing, and think
Mm,
you mentioned it earlier, is really just owning up to your shortcomings, because
mhm.
we're none of us is perfect, but
Right.
those shortcomings can actually be an opportunity to connect in a new way,
Mhm.
and they can learn
Mhm.
by you modeling, again going back to the leader
Exactly.
part, how you work through things. And you'll be surprised, young people, and we too, but when we were young, we learned more by what we see than by what we hear.
Absolutely. That's why our behavior is so powerful. I love
Yes,
that you bring that up. Because how many of us were told, just do it because
Because
I said so.
so.
I mean, oh my God, if I heard that one more time,
I'd be rich.
I vowed never to say that to my son. I'm like, I am never going to say because I told you so, because it was like, because I said so, because it was like, that was the mantra my mom used, because she didn't have any other tools.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And that's what I work with my mom clients on, is gaining those tools, rediscovering them, and recognizing what you actually have inside of you, you just at your disposal. Because each and every moment you have a choice, and that choice can start today to do something differently. And so you make the choice and you, quote unquote, make a mistake. That's okay. You pick yourself up and realize, okay, now how can I now learn from this and model that process for my daughter?
Yeah, well, that's so powerful. I love the work you're doing. Tell us about your podcast. I think I've really enjoyed it. It's such a wealth of information.
Oh, thank you. My podcast is called Mother-Daughter Connections. You can find it on all platforms. It started out as, it was birthed out just before, as COVID was happening.
Really?
Yeah. And I wanted to kind of just have a space for moms to not experience any guilt or judgment. They could just pause, to just be with someone who, my heart is to be of help. You'll hear me say that over and over again. I really just want to be of help and come alongside you, because no mom is an island. We're in this together. We need each other. And so that space of the podcast is actually to, again, educate, equip, and empower moms in the space of just being not judged or not feeling guilty about anything. And I, have things that I talk about thematically, and I also bring on guests, because I'm always interested, moms, we rock the cradle.
Right.
We're creating those future leaders. And so I bring on different guests talking about different themes and topics that are pertaining to moms and daughters.
I love that. But you have so many interesting stories in your own life. I hope you do a lot of solo episodes too, because
oh yeah, I do. I do. Yeah, I do a splattering of solo episodes. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because I've just been getting feedback. People are saying the same things. So I'm sort of like, okay, I like having on guests, but I also like doing the solo episodes. So I'm going to be doing more of those.
I agree, because you just have so much information to share with people. I mean, I wish I had podcasts when my son was growing up. I would have listened to them just for that wisdom and that support of what the heck are other moms doing, because it really, especially like as an at-home mom, it was isolating.
Yes.
So podcasts would have been an awesome way to really connect,
Yeah, no, I totally hear you. I'm really big on the, we have enough thrown at us to make us feel guilty and judge ourselves.
Right.
I want this space to just be one where moms don't experience that, because you won't hear that from me. And that's also with my Facebook group. That's, the same tenet that we have in the Facebook group, which is by the same name, Mother-Daughter Connections, FB, as in Facebook. So yeah.
Great. Yep. Oh, I hope you guys go and join that, because that is going to be a really supportive community, I'll bet.
Yes, definitely. And I'm also, and I love the fact that of the work that you're doing, because I think it's very complementary. As we were talking earlier about the boundaries and things of that nature, and codependency. So kudos. I just love it when folks, we mental health folk can get in there. Yeah, totally.
So tell us about your free guide. This sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I put together if you happen, it's called The Quick Guide to Lesson Arguments. Okay,
I love that title. That grabbed me.
Yeah, right. So I wanted to at least give moms, again, a tool that they can use in the moment. It's like a cheat sheet where you can figure out, okay, this is going on with my daughter. How can I now say the quote unquote something that will be right? Okay, not that it's right or wrong, but there are things that are optimal that give you the kind of response you want, and things that are not optimal. So I have a guide that will guide you, that will walk you through 3 areas that you need to make sure that you're addressing with your daughter, because if you don't address those, that's probably contributing to why y'all are knocking heads. And so it's the quick guide to lesson arguments, but the URL is bit.ly/less arguments. So if you just, click on that or go to my website,
Well, we'll definitely put it in
curativeconnections.com.
the
Yeah, it'll be there.
in the comments too.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
So how can people find you?
Subscribe to my podcast, Mother-Daughter Connections. Just Google it, or Apple iPod, whatever the platforms are. It's on Spotify. It's on a whole bunch of things.
Cool.
So you can find it everywhere. And then if you want to follow me on Facebook, definitely you're welcome to join the Facebook group. If you're a mom, it's only moms only, or women, because remember, moms, we are first daughters. So it's a mother-daughter Facebook group, Mother-Daughter Connections Facebook group. When you click the join button, just make sure you answer all 4 questions. All 4 questions. And then you're more than welcome to be in it.
Oh, that's so great. And your website is at the bottom.
Yes, Curative Connections. Right, Curative, CURATIVE Connections with an S.com.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yay. This was so much fun, Michelle. Thank you
likewise.
so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, this is really, really helpful. And I can't wait to hear what my subscribers and my followers on Facebook say, because this is a really important topic. We really need to make sure we're connecting with our kids.
Yes.
Really important.
Right. Exactly. I totally agree. Won't hear any argument here.
Yay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
All right. I will talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.